Welcome in, feminine, to the enlightened goddess key. It is your girl, Goddess Wise, here to help uplift the feminine collective as we heal and step finally back into our glory of the feminine. Thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe, you like the video, you comment if necessary, and we're going to move into our lesson for today. So, what I was hearing before I started channeling was the feminine needs to understand and embrace all aspects of her. And of course, I thought it was beautiful. Anytime I get a message for you, feminine, it's glorious to me because there's so many areas that we need to start to correct so that we can step into our full power. As I've stated in maybe my first or second video, the power of the feminine has been stripped. And because it's been stripped and it was stripped millennia ago, the feminine doesn't remember who she truly is. But we right now are living in a golden age where the feminine is relearning who she is. And that right there is going to be the secret to helping us heal the planet and elevate out of a lot of the negativity that has just become what we live in now. So, as I stated, we're going to talk today about understanding all aspects of the feminine and embracing all aspects of the feminine. Because there are so many facets, and only some of those facets of the feminine are allowed to be considered acceptable. Such as a feminine can be sexual, but it's only limited to certain aspects. A feminine can only be deemed, I want to say, respectable if she carries herself a certain way. A feminine must always be soft and vulnerable in order for her to be considered a feminine. Otherwise, they'll consider it her masculine energy. None of these things are true. They all come with variables, just like all aspects of life come with variables. A woman stepping into her aggressive nature for whatever reason it may be, whether it's to set a boundary, whether it is to be protective of herself or someone else, that is still a feminine aspect. There's a way to do it and still be feminine. So for it to be coined as masculine energy anytime she would need to, that would be falsified, especially since it would leave the feminine in a position where she would consistently be vulnerable if she can't stand up for herself, right? And again, this is how we get to the places that we are now at, that we're trying to exit. So we're going to get into understanding the feminine. Today I'm going to use my What's the Vibe deck. Yeah. So I'm going to use my What's the Vibe deck to play with this idea. Understanding the feminine. Where do we want to go? Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and cleanse the energy with a sound bath. I want you to take a long, deep breath in, hold for 2 seconds at the top with me, and then blow it all out for a count of 4. Let's begin. Turn your volume down if you are sound sensitive. In. Thank you. All right. So what do we need to understand about the feminine? What needs to be understood, about the feminine? We have lawyers, court, paperwork, legal. Okay. So I'm getting off of this card that it's legal to be a feminine and to accept all aspects of the feminine. That if God is the judge and jury, God created the feminine the way that He created her purposefully. He didn't create her to be less than. He didn't create her to be second best. If we are a part of the Creator, just like the masculine energy is a part of the Creator, then we cannot be considered second to the masculine. If we are a part of God, of our divine source, then that would therefore mean that He would want us to have an experience that is equal to what a masculine is able to have. So understanding that you are legally able to live life the way you choose to live it, as long as it is in alignment with moral integrity, with self-respect, it's dignified, the Lord has no issues with it. Which means if there are rules that are created to keep you from it, whose rules are they and who do they benefit? Let me get another one, please. Antisocial. In your feelings, silent treatment, and left out. Ooh. I'm getting with this card that the feminine fell into this position of secondary because whenever a feminine tried to stand up and be more or be her full self, I don't want to say more, be her full self, she was always outcasted. And we know that nowadays as well, that as much as the feminine is pushed to be in her authenticity, to be genuine, there are a lot of women who are flamboyant about who they are, but it's not even their truth. And then the ones who are flamboyant about who they are and it is their truth, they also have to do battle with the fact that they get these labels slapped on them. If she dresses a kind of way, she's considered sexual, not sensual. If she speaks with a tone that is stern, she's considered aggressive. If she likes to play sports and participate in physical activity, she's in her masculine. All of these labels were pushed into the world so that it slowed down your ability to just be you because you're worried about where you're going to be classed, what box you're going to be placed in. So understanding that about yourself, that feeling of thinking you're going to be outcasted is one of the reasons why it's so easy to fall into being a woman of reserve instead of being a full woman in her glory. Beautiful. Can I have another, please? Get away, relax, and have fun. Vacay. Okay, I'm getting that in time, the feminine being able to be caused some frustration, especially in the masculine. Because if a woman is just able to be, and she is a receiver naturally, and masculines are doers. There were some masculines who were heavy in their feminine who didn't want to be doers. They just want to be receivers too. This is where we saw the masculine energies started to wear makeup to accentuate themselves. But the misplaced energy caused feminines to think, oh, in order to compete, they needed to do makeup. Women don't need makeup. Feminine energy does not need makeup. Makeup does not even need to exist because you are naturally gorgeous, beautiful, and your essence is really what is supposed to shine through. We think that our surface level face, skin, and features are what draws in anyone, but it really is not. It's your energy. When you cultivate pure energy, that is your biggest go to, that is your biggest currency. That's what draws others into you. It is your energetic receptiveness, it is the nurture within you, nothing that is on your surface. So, being able to relax into that, to have fun, it cultivates healing within you. So that's something we need to understand, is that we are supposed to play and have fun and enjoy life. And we are allowed to. Can I have one more, please? Masked, hiding, concealing, and deception. Okay, so the feminine was forced to hide herself. I'm getting that there was a time where masculine energy knew they were at the whim of the feminine. They knew the power a feminine held in her gaze, in her presence, in the way that she moved. There was unlimited and untapped power. That power struck fear in the masculine at times because it wasn't something that they could stop. When a true masculine is in a position of falling in love with the feminine, or comes across a feminine energy that is undeniable, he will naturally become a man who wants to heal, because that is how a feminine heals. She does not heal through saying, I'm going to take on this project, he's going to be my project, 12:21 on the clock. She heals through her presence making the masculine want to be better, naturally, without any assistance. And it was that intimidated the masculine at times. Because to know you want to be better and maybe not want to necessarily do the work, what would you do? You punish what triggers the emotion within you. And that is exactly how it went. The feminine was stripped of her power because she was too powerful. So we forced her into hiding to conceal her true nature because it made dealing with it easier. Go ahead, Holy Spirit. Let's see, where do you want to go? All right, advice on how to fully accept all aspects of the feminine. Strength. You never know just how strong you really are until being strong is your only choice. Definitely a very fitting card for this conversation. In order to fully accept all aspects of the feminine, you have to be strong enough to show it. Strong enough to be her at all times. Understanding that limitations will be will be attempted to be placed on you naturally, because the only force of control that they would be able to have is to limit what you do, what you say, and how you do it. But you don't have to accept to be limited. If there's a space where you're being limited, leave that space. If you feel like you cannot be yourself, then go somewhere where you can. We live in 2025, and it is actually a glorious time to be a feminine, because there's a place for everyone. If you come from a culture where they tell you that women cannot learn or women cannot be, make your way out of that culture. Leave. Leave. And if you don't feel like you can leave, you feel like you're stuck, you're held back, think about what has you feeling that way. What are the limitations? If your culture teaches that you can't leave because you're supposed to be subservient, then you would have to change your mindset before you could leave anyway. Because you can't be both. You can't be free and chained. Can I have another? How to step into the full feminine. Responsibility. Really good card. Maturity begins when you take responsibility for your own actions. And that is it. You have a responsibility for every feminine that comes into your life, for you to be you. And that responsibility is going to require you to be brave, to have the strength to remain you. You're not just doing it for you. When you free yourself from the limitations the world has, you free all feminines who come in contact with you. Just through your energy naturally. Because your free energy tells the next feminine that they can be free too. That they can be free too. And all feminines want to be free. And remember, I said that I wasn't going to touch on this too many times, but we all have feminine and masculine energies within us. So we're not just talking to feminines born female, we're talking about the feminine aspects of all human beings. So masculines who are taught that they can't be loving, caring, compassionate, they can't love freely, that is a lie. It was a lie to make you completely aggressive, to put you in a world that made you fight every second of every day. Your feminine is supposed to allow as well. It is your feminine that allows you to find a feminine because she's going to mirror that feminine aspect of yourself. And the last card I had was love yourself. Now that is the kicker right there. Because it is within loving yourself that you're able to cultivate the strength to be able to move forward. Self-love is key in all aspects. Whether you're looking for love, if you do not have a strong amount of self-love within you, what you're looking for hasn't been defined. So you're going to get a variation of what you're looking for that hasn't completely been determined. Because we draw in what we are and what we're seeking. You cannot seek masculine who is loving, caring, and nurturing, but you're also in your masculine energy and you're not loving, caring, and nurturing. You're only going to get what you give. So loving yourself is important. It says, in order to love someone else, you must first love yourself. Yeah, because what is the standard? A man learns how to treat you through the way you treat yourself. If you treat yourself as royalty, he will follow suit. All right, so we're going to get advice or last words from Divine Source, our Father, the Creator of all. What do you need us to know? Believe. You're being asked to fully believe in yourself and your dreams. It is time for that idea that lived inside your heart to be brought into the world so others can benefit from it. Believe that you can bring it into life and you will do exactly that. Believe in yourself. Believe that freedom is something that you can obtain and you will have it. I have another. Thank you. Receive. You're being asked to open to receiving universal gifts. These could come in the form of love, money, compliments, healing energy, and universal wisdom. Know that you're worthy of these gifts and open up to them. Receive. Have faith. It's not always easy to have faith and trust everything is going to be okay. Yet still, you must do exactly that. Because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you will never imagine were possible. Can't change for the feminine if you don't have faith that it's possible. One more card, please, Divine Father. Pivot. Sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some ways would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How could you pivot even just a little bit? Change the direction. This is what we're working toward. We're changing the direction of the planet because the world deserves a chance to be able to grow past what they know. I'm going to pull one self-reflection card. We got two things supposed to be in there. So this is what you're going to reflect on. And we'll end on the self-reflection. Am I truly at peace with my past? And I feel like that is universal. So are you at peace with the fact that the feminine has been stuck where she's been? Do you not see a problem with it? Has it, because it feels so normal, do you feel that it should continue? And that, my friend, is where you can decide if pivoting is the next step. Because if you do feel that the feminine has not been treated properly, that she has lost herself, and that she needs to refine herself, then pivoting is the only option. I thank you all for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share the video with any feminine energies that you know are looking for growth and development. Because we are becoming the feminine in the world so that we can take back and reclaim what is ours. I thank you for being here. Love and light.